Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the Adjutant. On this channel, I break down complex topics into clear, practical information you can actually use. No hype, no noise, just clarity. So in this video, let's talk about the 2026 military pay increase and, more importantly, who actually benefits the most. Because every year we hear the same thing. Military members are getting a raise. But what exactly does that mean? Well, but here's the truth most people miss. Not everyone benefits equally. Some service members see real relief, others barely feel it. And few groups benefit far more than the headlines suggest. Today, I'm breaking down who really wins, who doesn't, and why the structure of the military pay matters more than the percentage itself. Now, first thing, let's talk about some things very quickly. Military pay raises are percentage-based increases to base pay approved through the federal budget process and implemented by the Department of Defense. That percentage applies across the board, but the impact is not equal because base pay scales differently by rank. Allowances are not automatically increased. Taxes, inflation, and time in service all change the outcome. So when you hear a pay raise, the better question that we should ask is a raise for who? Let's talk junior enlisted, and those are generally the folks from E1 through E4. On paper, they receive the smallest dollar increase because their base pay is lower. But here's a twist. Junior enlisted are most sensitive to inflation. Housing, food, and transportation hit them harder. That said, percentage-based raise often do not fully offset rising costs for this group, specifically if the housing allowances lag behind the market. The bottom line here is that junior enlisted need the raise the most, but don't always benefit from it the most. Now, the next group we're going to discuss are the NCOs, or the non-commissioned officers and mid-grade enlisted. This group often sees the most balanced benefit increase. And now here's why. They have a higher base pay, which equals a larger dollar increase. They're generally more stable housing situations that they're in. They have less financial volatility than junior enlisted, or let's certainly hope so. They have the experience to use and spend money wisely. For NCOs, a 2026 pay raise translates into better savings potential, easier housing budgeting, now some insulation from inflation. So you have some insulation from inflation that, coupled with better decision making, could generally give them a better outcome. This is where the pay raise model works as intended: steady, predictable improvement. Now, group 3 are the senior enlisted and officers. So shout out to all the officers out there. Here's where things really get interesting. Senior enlisted and officers receive the largest dollar increase, but they also have the least financial pressure. A percentage raise on a high base salary compounds faster. However, and that obviously makes sense, if you're making $100,000 and you're getting a 2% pay increase, obviously you're going to make more than someone who's making, $50,000. However, many in this group already rely less on base pay and more on allowances, special pay, and long-term retirement planning. They benefit the most numerically, but not necessarily practically. Now, the next group, and the group that I'm in, retirees, this group is often overlooked, but it does matter. Military retirees don't receive pay raises, but they receive COLA, or cost of living allowance adjustments, tied to inflation. When inflation is high, retirees often fare well. Now, when inflation slows, adjustments shrink. For those approaching retirement, the 2026 increase can be critical. You will have a higher final base pay, higher pension calculation, and compounding impact for life. The quiet winner are those retiring soon after the raise takes effect. So who benefits overall? Let's talk about it. In pure dollars, senior ranks. In life impact, the mid-grade enlisted. Now, in long-term value, the near-term retirees. Now, the most vulnerable are the junior enlisted. That's why context matter and why headlines don't always tell the full story. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Information only matters if you understand it, and understanding gives you options. Whether we're talking about military pay, benefits, travel, or bigger life decisions, the goal here is always the same: clarity over confusion. Too many people move through systems they don't fully understand, and that costs them time, money, and peace of mind. My goal with this channel is to slow things down, break things apart, and give you the context you need to make better decisions for your life. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know enough to ask the right questions, because that's where the real leverage starts. Now, if this video has helped you, hit the like button so it reaches those people who need it, and subscribe if you want clear, straightforward breakdowns without the noise. I read the comments, I pay attention to what you want covered next, and I treat this channel like a conversation and not a lecture. Remember this: your time matters, your decisions matter, and understanding the system you're operating in matters more than people realize. Stay informed, stay intentional. I wish you blessings and blessings. I am the Adjutant. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.